You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa! You know what it is, ladies and gentlemen, creators and crusaders. Today, we're not just talking comics. We're talking legacy building, baby, because I have two powerhouse visionaries in the building who went from college basketball teammates, dribbling that ball out there, to co-architects of an entire superhero universe. You heard? I mean, from the hardwood to the storyboard, from locker rooms to launching a movement, these brothers right here are flipping the script with Project 365 and Alpha Initiative Zero. Shout out to my man, James Gabsy. A bold, diverse, multimedia superhero universe that blends comics, short films, veteran storytelling, and straight up authentic representation. Y'all heard? And now listen. They're not just creating characters right here. They're creating culture. Y'all heard? They're honoring veterans. They're partnering with VetStreamTV. They're crowdfunding with strategy. They're thinking Marvel level scale while keeping that independent hunger. Y'all heard? So today we're going to be diving into mindset, mission, muscle memory from basketball to business, and how you go from teammates to co-creators in the universe. You know what I mean? We're talking with the one and only future legend of this comic book independent game, baby, and even more. The one and only Steffon Thomas and Christopher I, because I not want to mess up his last name. How you pronounce your last name?
Ikpoh.
Christopher Ikpoh is in the building, baby. You better check it out. Welcome to Comic Crusaders.
What it do?
Yeah.
What up?
For real, what up? Thank you for coming through and wanting to talk about this wonderful universe y'all building. I mean, a shout out to James Gatsby too, man. Once I saw Alpha Initiative Zero, I had to say, heck the fuck yes. I had to talk to these cats because James G is my man. Everybody check out Who Would Win show if you want to see some dope soap battles between heroes broken down on a scale. And, I'm kind of against my man James G sometimes, because James G ain't always right, But you know what he's right with? Alpha Initiative Zero, man. When he talked to me about this to show me what was going on here, I knew this was definitely the future. And so again, gentlemen, I'm so happy to have you on. So we're about to talk, man. We're about to go. Let's get that more chin, man. I'm from New York. We're talking that wildness.
Yeah, all right. NYC, baby. Okay.
Yeah, Brooklyn in the building, baby. Brooklyn is
Boogie down. Boogie down, baby.
Boogie down. How about you, Chris? Where you from?
Chi-Town, man. Representing Chi City.
That's okay. We got some favorite rappers. It's all good. Hey, listen. It took a dude from Brooklyn to take over Chi-Town, Al Capone, so we're all good, bro. Right? I'm fucking about. Chris is about to murder me when I go over there to C2E2. Let's talk, bro. You both guys, man, y'all went from like running plays on the court, right, to running story arcs on the page. Like, what skill from basketball translate best into building like a superhero universe?
Oh, it's a good question. All right, so the creativity. So we hooped together. Chris was.
Wait. Is that the first time y'all met when y'all hooped together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we met in college. Yeah, because Chris, I was on the team already when Chris got there, and we were terrible. We were and then Chris comes through, and a few other recruits came through, and they changed the game. Chris became like he was our main man. He was our go-to guy. I was the third string point guard, so I was like,
he said third string. Damn, bro.
captain of the practice squad. I was
at least you were the towel boy.
Hey,
Steph had game. He was putting in work. Don't let him fool you. He wasn't out there just warming up the bench.
People that talk like this, that humble, I know are probably the best in the game. I know.
So but it was but I mean, we worked together. So like the teamwork, and especially in basketball, like you got to be creative out there on the court. Like you got to get out there. You gotta, the coach will get the plays, and everything like that. But even with the plays, you still got to be able to improvise on the fly. You got to be able to, you got to be able to read the situation. So I think that creativity for sure, and then me and Chris working as a team, that teamwork. I just, all I do is I just feed the post. I just feed the post, and then my man goes to work. So it was.
All right, wait. So how did you guys find out that you guys were comic book nerds then?
That didn't happen till God, how many years later, man?
Wait a minute. Y'all played for years before realizing y'all were nerds? Y'all were too humble. Like, yo, I'm going to keep this shit quiet, yo.
So I was in school for creative writing, but Chris was doing what? Pre-law?
Yeah, it was pre-law,
Chris was boozy. You thought he's not gonna like comic books. He's not gonna like no comic books.
I was chasing the bag, man. I was chasing the bag.
You're still chasing. We're all chasing that bag. But, I mean, you guys don't do it. I think you guys reached the bag. I'm still chasing. Don't you worry. I love it. I love this, man. Talk to me.
It was good. So like I had been doing writing, and like you said, years later, might be like what? 6, 7 years. Like,
6, 7.
No,
it
was more than that.
Started. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say it had to be more than that because you graduated like a year or two before me.
Yeah, that's right. I was 03.
And then we linked up again. I sent you World of Truth in like 2015.
Oh, it was that long.
Wow.
Like we had been in contact with each other, you know what I mean? But it was like we didn't get it popping until like 12 years later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because he told me, like he hit me up on some like, yo, I got this piece. I seen because I was, promoting the fact I was doing freelance editing. I was helping people write their books, stuff like that. So he sends me this, and he's like, yo, I got this book. You need to check it out. Help. Give me some pointers on it. So I'm expecting him to send me, some stories. This dude sends me a 500-page, mega epic, spanning across lifetimes. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck, yo? I'm like,
bro, you trying to stress me out right now?
I was like, yo, it's gonna take me like a year to read this joint, yo.
Yeah, it's like the Bible, man. What are you doing?
I had to be thorough with it, man.
I love it. You're a lawyer. You got to be thorough.
Yeah, so
gotta be.
So that's when I discovered that he was a creative mind, and then we started talking about how can we combine our powers like Voltron up in here.
How come y'all never talked about that geekdom as a team member on the basketball? It was really just practice all the time in the game. No time for
I mean, we talked about movies and music. Like when I came in,
comics is really that fucking of a taboo amongst dudes. Jesus Christ, bro.
I don't think
how you reading comics?
We talked about we talked more like because we're both big Wu-Tang fans. I came in to school. That was when Jadakiss just dropped that Kiss of Death album. So I was bumping that when I got there. So we were both big hip hop heads. So we were like, yo, we connected on that. We had the hoop and stuff. We lived in the same dorm. He lived 2 doors down from me. So he knows where all the skeletons are buried at. Like he knows all the shit that was going down back then. Yeah, so we had a lot of stuff in common. We were clicking on a lot of levels, but I don't know, man. It was movies, music, but the comic book stuff just never really never really came up. Right? I never even thought about that shit.
Movies are out like this, that was the X-Men, the first few Spider-Man movies was out during that time. So we, I'm sure we talked about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think we ever
the books.
Yeah, I mean, we never really talked about the whole world building. I mean, I remember we talked about what was it? It was like Star Wars, and you was Chris was upset about how like Darth Vader, they were doing Darth Vader dirty and some of like the new and like some of the new Star Wars stuff, and he was like, "Yo, like he's the man."
Fan. He's a villain fan. I get it.
Yeah, it's like why they treating him like a punk? He's like, you know, he's and then I said to Chris, well, what would you have done with him? Like, you know, he's talking about it like, what would you have done with him? So
he tested your ass.
So Chris
he called me out.
Challenge accepted. And then he starts writing, you know, he starts like, I mean, you know, inspired by like, you know, because we're inspired by all the stuff we grew up loving, inspired by that. He went and started creating another world that was, you know, like what would a character who was in a similar situation, but of course, as it developed, it became much different from Darth Vader. It became much different, you know, but it was like, yo, if you got a cat with that much cliche, with that much cachet, that much skills, that much, you know, like, you know, he got to have the right kind of stories to really show.
You're bringing the weapon, you know what I mean? I got caught.
Yeah, so
that shit.
So
I love it. All right. So you got this. So when did that conversation shift then from saying we should create something to we are going to create something?
So yeah, it was after I sent him the book. Steph had the idea for this website. He was going to call it the Creative Extreme, and he's like, I want it to be a hub where cats who, you know, got stories, got characters, we can all just come, right? Let's just throw all of our shit together, make a dope ass website. Everybody can come check out our stories, our characters, whatever. And then he said, I also got an idea to do something called Project 365, where we release one original character for every single day of the year. Each character got their own story, their own artwork, and then we'll tie everything together. He's like, you got a shit ton of characters. I got a shit ton of characters. Let's get it popping. And I was like, I bet. So we rolled into January, and Steph had like the first half of the month already planned out with the artwork and everything, had the connections with the artists and stuff. So we had a little bit of space, right? Wiggle room for us to actually get ramped up and get going. And then from there, it was just on. I mean, we were creating characters. We were getting artwork from artists all over the world, throwing it together. And then as we continued to do it, we were starting to, it was all organic because we're writing in real time too. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're taking stuff from the news. We're taking stuff from, you know, stories that we're hearing, and we're incorporating that into what we're doing to make it more relevant to the readers. At the same time, though, we're weaving everything together. So it's a nuanced storytelling process, but then also with foresight to say, hey, if we ever get this stuff adapted or picked up, it's going to be difficult for somebody to have to take 365 characters. Let's make each character stand alone in their own world. So that way, anybody can come in at any time a la carte and be like, yo, I like this joint. March 3rd, I want March 3rd. Boom. They just extract that. Now you got your own, you know, TV show, movie,
Slice
whatever.
Of the universe,
Yeah, exactly. So that's how we rocked for 2016, and did the whole year and created this whole entire universe by the end of it.
Wow, 2016. I was just 10 years old then. That's when I got my second logo. You actually my first show with my new logo.
Oh,
yeah,
hey, that's
we're getting it started right.
Yeah, that's right. We're getting this logo started right. Like it's about rocking like the Phoenix, resurgence and new fire. We're talking about new fire. Representation seems to be very core to Project 365. Man, like what stories did you grow up not seeing that kind of fuel the mission?
Yeah. So I mean, like just literally, you know, when we were talking about some of the things we loved, you know, we love things like Star Wars. We love things like, you know, all those different, and seeing a lot of characters of color as the sidekick, right? There was the opportunity for, you know, Black characters and characters to shine as a sidekick, right? Some dope characters, right? Like, I mean, you know, we're not, you know, but at the same time, we was like, yo, we wanted to be part of helping them to bring more characters of color to the forefront, you know, like you know, we were seeing little bits and pieces here, but we was like, yo, you know, all of these companies and all of these creative works, it's like they have these great creations and then they throw in some, you know, they sprinkle in some color. We were like, yo, we want to start from the color and then sprinkle in everything else, you know? And so we wanted to really be at the forefront of pushing that, pushing more characters, more with diverse backgrounds out there. And we didn't want to do it just like token, right? Like we didn't want to be like tokenized. Like, look, this is like love this character because they're black. Love this. We didn't want to just do that. We want to be like, love this character because they have an incredible story.
Yes,
right?
story first.
To like story first, right? You know that yes, the part of their story, part of who they are, part of their identity is their story.
Yeah, but I'm colorblind. I'm colorblind to story. Listen, man, we all go through our shit, and you know what? No matter what color you are, so many of us have a similar story.
Yep,
we've gone through the same shit, regardless of our color. And I hate that politics and media divide us that way. They need to stop this fucking nonsense. And I'm happy for creators out there like you. But listen, this is the diverse world we live in, and we're all going through the same shit. So shut the fuck up. I love it. I love it because with that, it's like you guys are definitely you're blending comics, right? You're blending short films, multimedia.
Sure.
What's the goal here? Y'all building IP first or movement?
So we built the IP first. That was the first thing that we did. Where we're shifting to is movement, right?
Love it.
And the reason why we did it that way was, in which we were glad we did it this way, as we started doing pitch meetings and meeting with production companies and studios and all this kind of stuff, was they were like, okay, you have an idea, right? But where is the actual content? Where's the substance? And we would be like, check out the website. We got hundreds of thousands of words already written. You essentially got an epic saga online already developed for you. But then on top of that, we've also started expanding some of those IPs and writing series. So we're writing teleplays for like a streaming series. We're writing feature-length screenplays for certain IPs. So that way they also can't say, oh, okay, well, you got the book, right? Or you got the online world, but like, we're going to need to put that into movie format. Or we're going to need to put that into a series format. That's done. Shit's done already. We already got you on that, right? But not just doing the content. That's not enough to make it happen. When we look at, because what we did was we looked at Black Panther. When Black Panther came out, it wasn't just, oh, we got an African, superhero that we're going to throw into the Avengers world. It became a cultural movement on its own. That's what took it over to $1 billion in the box office. It wasn't just a movie by itself. It was the cultural movement behind it. When you look at Barbie has been around forever. Barbie fans, yes, they were going to go out and support. But Barbie didn't get the success it did because of Barbie and Mattel. It got the success because of the cultural movement that came behind it, the whole Barbenheimer thing, right? It became an epic thing for moviegoers to go experience. You go see Barbie, you go see Oppenheimer, whatever, right? But there was a movement behind that. So now what we're doing is we're focusing on not just translating this IP from comic book, graphic novel, online universe to teleplays and screenplays. We're doing it in a way that is going to build a cultural movement. And that's the pitch, right? That's what we're trying to sell to not just people in the industry, but also to the fans, to let them know, y'all come and ride with us, you're going to be coming along with a movement. You're not just going to be coming to experience a movie or watch a TV show. You're going to be on the ground floor of this empire as we're building it. And we're all going to come up together and take it to the next level.
Man, I am feeling a shit ton of that energy right now, bro. Chris, bring it, baby. Bring it, baby.
The movement. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. All right. Yeah. So, also you guys are working with VetStreamTV, which is powerful, man. Salute to our vets out there. My uncle, served in the Korean War, one of the OG Borinqueneers, you know what I mean? From Puerto Rico, he served on that level, Sergeant Jose Antonio Perez. So salute, rest in peace, Theo. Thank you for serving. Well, why was honoring veterans through storytelling so important to you guys?
So we had teammates that were, eventually became veterans, right? I know a ton of veterans over the years, listening to their stories, not just the combat stories, but really the stories about when they got out and what their life was like after they got out, trying to reintegrate into society, the resources not being there, the VA being shit. I feel like I can say that because that's literally what everybody tells me that's ever served is the VA is shit.
Me too, bro. I haven't served.
Right?
I haven't had the honors to serve. You know, but yeah, I have friends that served, and sadly, I hate to hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, you take care of other things. You know, I don't want to be, you know, political at the moment, but I just say you want to take care of other things. But you know, there are people that have served our country, have been hurt for our country. Damn, man, take care of them first,
And we
please.
make priority.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I have a really close friend who is a therapist. She's in med school now, but for years she would counsel veterans. And a lot of times they would have to go to a therapist assigned by the VA or in with the VA. Some of these veterans live 2 hours away from the closest therapist. And there's no flexibility in how it works. So like they're not able to get the help and have access to the resources that they need. So we wanted to obviously shed light on that. However, if you see a movie about a war veteran or an active duty, you know, military, you know, person, a lot of the times they're portrayed in two ways. One way, they're the tip of the spear for the United States government to just, you know, they just point and they go, right? Point and shoot.
Yeah,
right?
the
Like
pit bulls, the dogs, right? You know, Rottweilers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or they're, you know, completely catastrophied, riddled with PSD, can't operate. You know, they're just a shamble of a human being. And for us, we look at veterans as the real heroes that they truly are. They're the ones who went out there, put their life on the line. They dedicated X amount of years of their life, and not just X amount of years of their life, X amount of years of their prime. They're going over there when they're the best versions of themselves, becoming better versions of themselves.
As men, apparently our prime is mad young, Bedito. So you know, unless they get action over there, we're losing this shit.
Right, and so they're giving up all of this to, you know, defend our country. And whether you agree with the politics or not behind the administration that's in the office at the time, the people, the men and the women that are serving because it's something that they've chosen to do, and they didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And so for us, they're real life heroes, and they deserve to be represented in that way. So when we went about creating Alpha Initiative Zero as a graphic novel, and then eventually when we hooked up with James G, and then we started working on it as the short film project. That
novel was so dope, guys, for real.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless.
Yeah. And so James G took it to the next level with Michael Lear and the crew with the short film. And VetStreamTV came in because, you know, James had pitched it to them kind of the way that we had just talked about it, right? And the feedback that we got was they were extremely happy to see military characters on screen that weren't just shambles of a human being or weren't just rabid pit bull killing machines, that they were actual heroes portrayed in a heroic way. But the story too was deep, right? The story had substance to it. So it wasn't just good guy, bad guy, kill, kill, kill. There was a lot going on there from the human side of it,
man.
You know?
You care about the characters. You want to know who the fuck they are. Like, yo, who are these guys? Like, what they've been through. You want to connect. And, you know, I know Tom McFarlane has made some very critical comments recently about writers versus the artists, but I'm sorry. I don't think you can have one without the other sometimes. Again, is it feasible for an artist to do a good story? Of course. I think we've seen good examples of that, but not every artist is able to do that. Again, because when you want to say that an artist don't need a writer, really, it's okay. A writer don't need an artist either. Let's talk about Stephen King, Clive Barker. You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, I mean, you know, some writers don't need artists either, brother. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, stop being divisive and let's always be, you know, in unity and be collaborative, and let's create to the best of our abilities. Because, folks, I'm about to show you some. Woo! They sent me some pictures. I'm about to show. But before I do that, I just gotta ask this question before I bring that up, because you know, I asked this because then people are gonna lay eyes and be like, yeah, of course it compares. It could definitely like be like, yeah, you wouldn't even mistake it, because y'all talk about sitting alongside Marvel and DC. What does that actually look like in your minds?
Being at the table. Not just being happy to be there, having a seat at the table with the goal of eventually getting the head seat at that table. You know what I mean? Like we're coming into this not
going for the crown, baby.
yeah. And
let's go. I'm on a body.
Hey, and if the head's attached to the crown, we're taking the head too. You know what I'm saying?
We're Crusaders. That means we your army, baby. We got it.
But yeah, I mean, we're out to win and not to replace. Like we love Marvel, we love DC, so we don't want to erase them or take them out or we're not here to shit on them or to badmouth them, but we're here to compete. We're here to win. Steph, what about you?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think looks like, the reason we call ourselves the Creative Extreme is because we want to take things to the next level. We want to push the envelope, right? So a lot of what we do is trying to find, okay, let's take, there's a tried and true formula to storytelling. There's a tried and true formula to entertainment, but how do we take that and push it to the next level, right? How do we find things? So even talking with, about the Alpha Initiative film, like, when we was like, all right, we want to do some dope, fight choreography. We want to do some dope,
choreography, bro. I know how to dance, but I can't dance that sexy.
And we were like, how do we so when we was like, okay, we're gonna work with Mike Lear, it was like we don't want to just do something that people have seen before. Like, of course, people have seen action movies and all that stuff. We was like, we want to tell a story with the fighting that takes it to the next level. That how do we incorporate that storytelling into the fights? So when we were developing the script for that was kind of the envelopes we're trying to push, and we believe that pushing the envelope in those little ways will add up to big stuff that brings us to the table, that brings us to, a place of people, like when they see our stuff on the screen or when they see our stuff in print, they're gonna be like, that's some TCE stuff right there. Like, like they can recognize it. Kind of like how, you can tell when you see an image, you can tell, oh, that's a Pixar movie. That's something from Pixar, right? But it looks like there's storytelling quality for
same thing with music, right? A RZA beat, a
RZA beat,
I get you. A staple, just something to. Okay, I know who did that.
Exactly.
There's a stamp to it, and they did. And talking about some folks, check this out. Y'all about to see some next level characterization in art. You know what? I'm gonna put us some little ass heads over here because I need y'all guys to appreciate. Look at that! Look at that artwork. So talk to me about your artist and who the fuck is this guy right here? That dude is badass. Tell me he's a villain. Because I love it. I need it in my life. He's a villain.
Yeah. Well, the artist is Josh McMahon. Steph, you tell him how you met Josh. How we got Josh on.
This is one of our artists. This guy is actually in Australia. Found him on Instagram or Twitter somewhere and connected with him. And the first thing that this guy, I saw that he had done, he had taken like Disney princesses and drawn images of them as like fighters. So it was like, there was like, it was like Belle as a boxer and then like he had drawn all these images. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, these images are dope. Would you mind doing some images, for some of my characters? He was like, absolutely. Or he was more like, sure, crikey, whatever it is. He's Australian.
Yo, bro, he said crikey. Yo, my man.
But he was so dope. And so we just began working with him. I started working with him like back in 2013. Then by the time we started connecting, I was like, yo, we got to have him as one of our main cats. And he did a bunch of images for us. And then, Chris, this is one of Chris's pride and joy creations. And he was like, yo, I need a new image. Like, let's hit up Josh. And tell him who this is, Chris.
Who this?
So this guy is Emperor Keiko. He's our big baddie. He's our Thanos of our universe. He hails from planet Tromocrate, the Tromocratesian Empire, the most vast empire in the entire universe. His backstory, I'll give it to you real quick because I know I don't want to take up too much time. The Tromocratesians are the number
You
one
keep
enemy
talking,
of.
I don't give a fuck, bro. We gotta learn more about this shit, bro. Let's go.
All right, let's go. But that's Emperor Keiko. He's our big baddie.
And he's like, so this was a character who, when I was like, you think you can do it better than what they did with Darth Vader? Like what can you do? And that was like the original inspiration for this character. But then, like I said, it's become something so much more. Chris was saying, like, from Tromo Crate, like their vast empire. But tell them about how, like, they this we did this before, and this is so crazy because we did this before Invincible, but like the whole society of people of that
really
planet, they're warriors. Like this, it's a warrior. But they're not just warriors. They're warrior scholars. So it's like so they
like the Superman science team shit.
Like not only could they beat you down, but then they could but
educate you as they beat. I'm beating you up because you know how to defend yourself because you didn't learn this, that motherfucker. Yeah, bro, that must be the most horrible beating you'll get in your life. Imagine somebody just teaching you as they're beating you. This is why I'm beating you.
They're all about knowledge, man, and that's why they're conquering. That's why they're conquering the universe, is because they're trying to obtain as much knowledge as they can. But then when they conquer somebody, they use we implemented the Mongolian tactic of you can retain your own society and culture, but you're going to be under our umbrella. We're going to take what we need from you. Okay. We're going to learn, but we're also going to bring what we have to you as well.
Oh, I like that. I really like that. So they're not colonialists. They let you still be you, but understand you're still under our rule.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're not colonialists.
But if you don't share your knowledge with them,
then they're colonialists.
All right. Then you know what time it is. You know what time it is.
I mean, if you wind up existing, all right, gotcha. All right. But he looks like a badass. I was very attracted to this character because I'm a villain's guy, like I told you guys, and I said, "Yo, this motherfucker looks badass. Please tell me he's the bad guy." All right,
for sure.
I'm happy. Yep. I'm very happy right now. Now, who this right here? Who this?
Yeah.
I love me a good suit, and my man got that poppy shit going on right here, bro. What's going on?
That's Peter Philadelphia. All right, so Peter.
Oh, Peter PA.
Peter.
I love this.
Yeah, so he comes from a story called the Ghost Orphanage, and the Ghost Orphanage is basically this secret society of swordsmen and swordswomen who have to hunt down these lost souls that are hiding inside of human bodies. So the only way that you can send these lost souls into the afterlife is if they're killed by one of these hunters who with one of these specialized swords. Otherwise, they just keep perpetuating. They keep like being reborn.
Okay, so I have a question. You're killing me.
Yeah,
I have a question because I'm gonna think a little bit higher than that. So
go ahead.
You said there are lost souls, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, in bodies. Are you saying that some bodies are inhabited by two souls, and that's maybe like the bipolarism comes from some shit sometimes? I mean, think about it. I mean, I'm not trying to.
No. That's a good question. So here's the thing, right? So we got to get deep into the lore. We got to get
that's what I'm saying. I want to know.
So, ghost orphans. Oh, this is gonna sound so bad, but ghost orphans.
I don't know what he says.
When a ghost orphan needs a new body, they have to find a pregnant woman. They go into the fetus.
Oh, damn. All right, kiddo, I'm about to mess up your life. You're gonna be born fucked up.
So they are born with that. They're born with that is their soul. The ghost orphan soul. So then, but here's the thing. So we got to get a little bit deeper. So here's the thing. When that person is born, that ghost orphan, like the history that came with the ghost orphan, like the lifetimes that they have, those memories don't wake up until that person's natural parents both die. So like that mom who was pregnant, she gives birth to that baby, and for all intents and purposes, that child is normal, right? But it has that, but its soul has that. So, but then when the mom and the dad die, then all of a sudden, all the memories from all the lifetimes that character has lived, they come rushing back, and now they know that they are, this ghost orphan. So the parents will never know that their child was a ghost because they passed away. So it's literally, they don't wake up as ghost orphans, because the lost souls are called ghost orphans. So they're literally, they have no parents, no home, but the only way they can be sent to heaven or hell or the afterlife is if a hunter comes and kills them. Because if they die by any other means, then they find another host body to
dude, you are probably just yo, bro. I am floored by that concept.
Yeah, it gets.
I know, listen, I just finished smoking weed, folks. This guy just blew my mind just now. Me listening to that, like, wait a minute, what if? Holy shit, like, bro, what if that is a true awakening, yo? Bro?
Yeah,
you just fucked me up. Thank you for doing that.
So it's
live on air. That my mind is like, I was about to drift away. Like, are you fucking with me? What if? Bro, anyway, what are we talking about right here?
Yeah, so that's Bruja. That's one of our top IPs. It's gotten the most traction with a lot of fans, and so we started developing that into a teleseries. Yeah, so Dr. Yanez is Mictlan, who is a descendant of a long line of Brujas, and she comes into her magical powers as she gets older. Think Doctor Strange mixed with Indiana Jones, but with a Latina, right?
Okay.
That's what,
my God, it's gonna get spicy. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah. So we're developing a series around that, and she's a college professor who goes around the world, like I said, Indiana Jones, seeking secrets of the world, secrets of the past and shit, and then she becomes the target of the big bad there from the afterlife in the underworld, who wants to take her as his bride in order to reincarnate his dead supernatural wife, and all hell breaks loose.
Of course, because what are demons good for? Other than breaking, I mean, and who it is, right? Yeah, Poppy with the good hair over here, bro.
Yeah, that is Captain Noble. Captain Noble is, he's whatever he says, he's your hero, he's your favorite hero, superhero. He's like
oh shit.
So he's kind of he is our, he's our all-American white boy.
Gotta have one.
Gotta have one. He was created. So he's kind of like our so Captain Noble was basically created in like a test tube almost. Like he was like created to be like the perfect human. He was given all the privilege, all the powers. Like he was kind of like developed like by like the government to be like this perfect character, right?
Yeah, however, he wasn't Kurt Hennig, but he was Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, Kurt Hennig. There you go. Oh man, do not go down the rabbit hole. Wrestling with us.
We'll be here all night.
Oh, man, we're gonna be here all night.
We'll be here all night, man.
So, but his story comes when like he's kind of one of those characters who he's like, he recognizes. He kind of recognizes his privilege, right? And he's like, I gotta like be someone who's like fights for everyone, not just for, those who can afford my services or afford like, like the government's like, we'll lend out Captain Noble, he'll, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of goes on, this crusade to kind of be like, I gotta build out. First of all, there's a lot of stuff happening.
So would you say he's a Section 8 Crusader?
Section 8. Yeah. He's
from Section 8 to Beverly Hills, man. Captain Noble's gonna take care of it.
But he starts recruiting, like there's some stuff going on. He's like, I need a team, So he starts recruiting characters to like help him. But he starts recruiting people from all over the place. He's like, I want a team of people with not just different powers, but different experiences, right? Because I can have all the power in the world, but if I don't understand, a situation, it's kind of like they do this sometimes with Superman, where it's like, yo, he can fly in and stop a war in some other nation, right? Yeah. But he doesn't understand how him stopping the war affects the geopolitics of that nation. Yeah. Right? He just can come in and he might stop a war, but that might also, trigger a genocide, right? Or
because they don't know what side he's on. And
right, exactly.
And that kind of sucks. Isn't that crazy that even as a superhero as a superhero, if I was a superhero, I have no affiliation. You know who I'm a comic crusader. That's it, bro. And that's my flag, and that's a universal flag on every planet in this universe. You heard? So if I do that, I do it for the universe. If I get superpowers, let me tell you right now. I think this. I get that. I like that, and it's so true, right? Isn't that funny? Like, we grew up reading comics as kids. Maybe we didn't understand it, but when we grew up and we started seeing how it's true. Like, oh shit, Superman. Yeah, he hardly says the American. They don't say no more the American way with Superman. Right. It's done.
Yeah. So but that's real. Like, if two people are if you see two people fighting on the street and you determine that that one must be the bad guy, you don't know that for sure, right?
If you don't assume, bro, makes an ass out of you and me.
Right? It's like you don't know the effects of you stopping the fight, right? And that's the kind of thing. It's like we don't recognize, like, when we were presented with comic books as kids, you have clear good, clear evil, right? Captain Noble was like, yo, the good and evil aren't always clear, right? Like, I gotta try to decipher that. So that's kind of where it kind of fits into our universe. And then he becomes a captain of a starship, and that's a whole another story.
Chris and Steph, we are living those times right now where the definition of what is good and evil is like, very effing. And so, you know what? But let's keep creating. Fuck all that, and live this good life. Because look at this. Let me say, this artistry right here, this color work. And mommy look badass. What the fuck? Who is this?
This is our boy Josh again from Australia. So Liberty Star, ex Navy SEAL. She came back, rotated back to the world, and was like, yo, I gotta keep doing good. Obviously she's an expert archer. But she is someone who is. So she's kind of like our character who is like this all-American kind of like, yo, USA all the way, right? Stand up for USA.
Captain America type.
Yeah. She's on that tip, and she's a little bit more of. She is much more of like the things are black and white. Like, she's a little bit more
law and order every time.
So there's only like, good and there's bad. There's no in between.
Yeah, she's kind of on that tip. So I mean, she's noble. She does the right thing as much as possible, but she's got a little bit of a narrow mindset. So her story is a little bit of an evolution of like, all right, there's a story where she forms like a team up with like a character from like the hood, right? Like, it's like,
Basic, you know what? You know what you're telling me? I'm gonna fuck you up right now. You're telling me she's probably like the Archie Bunker of a universe. Well, she don't want to fuck with us, but if she can, and she'll learn, because the evolution of all the family was pretty cool for that character.
We have like a straight up Archie Bunker, but she kind of represents a little bit.
We have a straight up racist hyper villain for sure.
I gotta see this.
Who is just straight up, But
he wasn't a racist. It wasn't bigger than he learned. Listen, watch the story. I was like, yo, this is probably one of the best character arcs I've ever seen on TV. He went from being such an asshole to like finally accepting people, and it was wild.
Yeah.
So, and that's what and I like to see shit like that, and I hope to see all these.
But that's kind of her thing is like, yo, whatever. Like, even when like the government is doing dirt, she's trying to like not justify it, but defend it. She was like, if they're doing it, there must be a reason, right? Even when it's like coming against her. So that's kind of like her, like her
loyalty overall.
Yeah, so it's fun. She's a leader of a team called the City Watch, which is a bunch of people all about justice. Is like the Gavel is one of the characters, and
prosecutor,
like they're like all these like they're kind of like
me, bro. I'm a 90s guy. Yeah, that means that if they were around back then, they probably would have fucking locked me up.
All of us. Yes, all of us would have been locked up.
I was a bad boy. Who is this? Oh my God, look at this.
Yeah.
Again, beautiful. Yo, your artists are just insane. Your artists. Like, what is going on here, bro? And just the character styles. Like, this is so fun to see. This is what I want to see in comics. Like, new characters, new shit, new stories, like bring us the fun and like and make them badass. Like, and like this is badass. Look at this.
Sure.
Who's this?
So this is our super samurai Musashi, real name Iori Miyamoto, inspired by Miyamoto Musashi, the world's most famous samurai to ever live, swordsman to ever live out of Japan. His story is he's cosmically tied to this entity called the Dark Yokai. The Dark Yokai is looking to possess his soul. At the same time, he's coming up as a new superhero in the game, right? We have a section of Platinum City, which is our Gotham, our metropolis, New Japan. He's the defender of New Japan. He's kind of taking the throne over from his father. His father's reluctant to give up the throne because he doesn't think Iori's ready. Iori's like, yo, you an old head. Go on, move on out. I got this. But at the same time, you got the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia over here trying to get at him. You got the Dark Yokai trying to possess him, turn him evil to reincarnate himself. And then you got the Iga clan, which is a clandestine group of ninjas that also live in New Japan who are looking to take over. So you got all these opposing sides looking to take over from the criminal world. You got the supernatural element on some exorcist type shit, trying to possess him. You got the beef within his family because his father and it doesn't want to give up the throne, but he's going for the throne, and then he's trying to emerge and save the city at the same time. So yeah, that's the Dark Yokai. That's Musashi.
You hear this? Oh my God, my man bought the drama. He was getting stressed here, right? This man bought chinche right now. Yo, what are they going through here? I gotta read this. Oh my God, how do they get through this?
And the artwork is this is another Josh McMahon special.
Yeah,
our homie from Australia. He came through, man.
And does my man does everything, the colors and everything?
Everything.
Yeah, he goes
everything.
Yeah,
he's one man machine.
He's a monster, man. He is a monster.
And the dope thing about it is, if you take these images and you zoom in real close, you see the fine paint strokes. And so it's not just like color by number with a program or something where you just click on a section and you put the color in there. This is true to life art that Josh has been doing for us, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's
I mean, it is beautiful. And oh man, and when I saw that, I had to leave the best for last. When I saw that flag, I said, "Well, hold up, I gotta find out about this one last." What are we talking about here, bro? Talk to me.
Man.
Bless me, man. Talk to me.
La Sirena, Puerto Rican princess.
La Sirena.
Yeah, La Sirena, the Puerto Rican princess. She's one of our Puerto Rican characters that we have, defender of the island. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
She actually has a story in Project 365 that crosses over with Captain Noble. So she's got a couple different storylines, but her story is, born and raised in Puerto Rico, and there's some
what
stuff going
pueblo?
on.
Did you pick a pueblo in Puerto Rico?
I didn't pick my pueblo. No, I didn't. But see, this is the thing, right? Because
is she from the north or the south? If you had a choice,
you told me. You told me. Where does she look like she's from? Is she from the north or the south? I don't know the island, as well as you do.
I would say that you should put her in the north because she was trying to defend us against the Spaniards and say Isabela, Puerto Rico.
Okay. All right, man. Yeah. Add the authenticity to the shit, man. That's what we need.
You're gonna add some more. You're gonna get
throughout all Project 365.
Because Isabela, Puerto Rico is named as a Queen Isabela as Spain, so she could do that as the rebellion, her family. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The layers. Coming with the layers to the shit.
Yeah, ask me a question, baby. I know about my Pueblo. Let's go.
But she was, a character that we wanted to put out to give a different kind of flair, because we got a lot of people who could fly, a lot of people who are strong, a lot of people who have this, who have that, but we didn't have anybody who has her power set. And we also wanted to have a character that could kick the shit out of Aquaman if they ever were to meet on that level. And that's La Sirena. She could definitely do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. If there's any woman that could beat the shit out of Aquaman, it's definitely a Puerto Rican woman.
No doubt. And this was actually artwork that we had done when Puerto Rico was hit by the natural disaster down there, hit by the hurricane. And so we had put this artwork out as part of the fundraiser that we were doing for the relief efforts for the island. So
when I was from here, bro, big hug. Thank you for doing that for me, gente out there. I appreciate that. It's a beautiful thing. Again, I was still building, and now that I have a bigger channel, anything happens next, I'm gonna do a whole telethon looking like Jose Feliciano and shit. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Now,
yes, sir.
Now let me ask you guys, what's the hardest part of being maybe indie creators aiming for blockbuster scale? Talk about that work. For real.
No, I would say, I mean, there's a lot of things that are challenging. I would probably say it's that whole chicken and the egg thing, right? Because it's like, yo, you need the experience, that you got to prove yourself, but you need the experience to prove yourself, that kind of thing. And we're like, yo, we got all this stuff. And we've been told so many times that your stuff is dope, but not unproven, but almost like it's dope, but it's dope, but right. It's a lot of that. I think one of the challenging parts was that, as indie creators, budget is always it's always a challenge, right? But as indie creators, it's like you kind of get into this thing where, we know what we have. And there was a time when we were coming up and people were telling us, all right, if you improve this, if you improve this, you'll have a better chance, right? So we put that work in, right? We improved things. We step our game up. And then we got to the point where people couldn't tell us anything else to improve, but they were still like, but it needs, I don't know, more backing, or we need to see more. But it was like we would be literally asking, they'd be like, yo, this is amazing, and we'd be like, okay, so put us on, and then they'd be like, we don't know. And be like, well, what can we do to help us get on? And they're like, well, it's amazing. We're like,
which is it? Like, Jesus,
yeah,
Christ, make up your mind, bro.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of one of the challenging things that we did. But I mean, that's not to say we haven't had some really amazing wins, so we've been very fortunate, very blessed, to have some really amazing wins. But I would say that, yeah, definitely that's one challenge. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing, like Steph said, you start building from the ground up, right? And when you're getting started and you hear, okay, well, we need to see more, you need to do this, you need to do that. A lot of people, that's where they fall off, because they don't want to do the work, or they feel like it's too much, and I'll come back to it. We kept grinding, and like Steph said, we kept grinding to the point where it's like, not only is our shit amazing, but we have everything that you're asking for. We got the source IP because we created it and wrote it. We got the storyboards, the panels, whether you want it from the comic book, from the website. We already got all the artwork and everything done. So you got the visuals. You want a screenplay? We got the screenplay. You want a pilot? We've already written the pilot, right? We have everything. And then it comes down to, okay, well, can you guys actually show us what it would look like? So then we went out and did Alpha Initiative 0 with James G. Now we got a proof of concept joint. Right, and it's actually live streaming. It's the number one, IP or number one piece of content on VetStreamTV.
Hell yeah, baby.
So, yeah, so it's like, what else do you want from us? And at this point, really, I think we're in more of a mode now where we're looking to not wait or rely on somebody else saying, all right, we're going to pick you up, we're going to give you a development deal, whatever. We're going to keep partnering with dope ass people. We're going to keep making our own content, make it fly as shit, create our own cultural movements, and then they're going to be knocking down our door trying to do a deal with us. You know what I mean? So we've gone the traditional route. And again, this isn't to disparage the people that we've connected with, because we met a lot of amazing people that we built our network, that we built our network with in the game. But when it comes to getting that decision,
knocking on those doors too. We're still knocking on those doors.
we're still knocking on the doors, but it'll be a lot easier.
Not just knocking, you better kick them down, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we're aiming to do. We keep doing our own joints. We keep making crazy dope content.
Yes.
We keep putting it out there, and they have no choice but to open the door when we come, or we're going to kick it down, like you said.
All right, so just two more questions before we go, because I don't want to take too much more of your time. You guys are great. You're giving me great energy. I love the energy behind, and the belief. Because again, I also saw Alpha Initiative from when it was just a concept until I saw the full trailer. Because James shared shit with me.
Yeah,
he's a good friend of mine, and like,
good dude.
Man, I'm like, whoa, and I'm so proud. You guys, really kicked ass with that. But everything y'all doing, the books and all, so.
Thank you.
I mean, folks, again, I've been showing this up. You see that link is in the show notes. You see that one down there. Make sure you visit the creativeextreme.com. There, the podcast, the Abbott and the Artista. I mean, that sounds crazy right there, yo. The Abbott and the Artista website. Like, yo, they're about to drop some knowledge right there. I feel like I need to turn on candles when I watch that podcast. The socials right there and all that stuff right there. Everything again is straight up in the notes, right? Yes. But guys, how do you build characters that feel human first and superhero second?
That's good. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, we are all driven by our goals, wants, and desires, right? The easiest way to begin building a character that people are going to find human is by letting your audience know what that character wants. What are their deepest desires? What in their mind would make them whole? Even if it's misguided, even if it's, something that seems completely and wholly unattainable. Like if you, and not just like, it's not just beat the bad guy, right? No, it's it's, I want to, I want love, or I want peace, or, this thing, would make me happy. The villain is usually not the goal. The villain is usually something standing in the way of that character obtaining their goal. And it's essentially a really terrible side quest. Peter Parker, he didn't set out to defeat Dr. Octopus. He wanted to get the girl, and then Dr. Octopus came and threw a wrench in his plan.
Peter Parker just wanted to get laid.
He just wanted to get laid. But that's how you create human characters, right? You got to know, your audience got to know what that character wants, what their desires are, what their, and that's where we start from. It's like, okay, the most human thing is one of the most human things is to desire something that you believe will make you happy, make you whole, so that's that. And
then also it's the why behind it, right? So not just what do you desire, what's your motivation, but why is that your desire? Why is that your motivation? Like if a character is seeking love, right? We all know that. We all feel that. Everybody wants love. But why does that person want love? And if you can creatively and effectively communicate why, express why, their parents died when they were young, so they grew up, they didn't have any parents, or their husband or their wife died and now they're lonely and they feel like they're out in the world all alone. Like if you can give them a powerful why, that makes it even more dynamic and even more human and relatable,
I feel you. All right, fellas, this is it right here. If young creators, them young bucks, young chicks and all, are watching right now, what advice would you tell them about building something bigger than themselves?
Oh man,
Steph, I think I know what you're gonna say.
well, I got.
I love my man over. He says I already saw it.
Well, first you gotta keep going. You gotta take it step by step. Like you gotta do it step by step. If you're gonna build something big, you can't make the gourmet meal until you have the ingredients, right?
Hey, man, that gourmet, look at it though.
Gotta take it step by step, like. And then it becomes bigger than you. It's just like what we did. We was like, we wanted to do 365, but we had to take it day by day. You know what I'm saying? And just piece by piece, day by day, story by story, sentence by sentence, word by word. So for young creators out there, don't let the big thing overwhelm you. Every journey starts with the first step, right? Just put it down on paper. Just put it down on paper. Like to start going. And then, you keep writing. Eventually you'll have a page. You have a page. Eventually it'll be more. And it's not going to be perfect. That's the other thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start, and then you go back and refine. But you got to start
dirty, baby. Start dirty.
Start dirty. We'll clean it up later. Start dirty. We'll clean it up later.
Yeah, I learned from a podcast. A shout out to Podfest when I moved to Florida. Chris Mitchell, he wrote a little book, very small book, but he goes, as a podcaster, man, if you have a phone, you can start dirty. Whatever you're gonna do, whatever tools, if you have a pencil and a paper, write. You don't need a laptop. Just start writing. Yeah, pencil and paper. That's it. Go to a dollar store right now. You get a pack of 12 pencil and a paper for $2.
Start writing. Absolutely.
And that's how easy it begins, because the rest is all in your head, baby.
Yeah.
And and all it takes is just you starting, not being afraid. Don't be afraid to be judged, because fuck judgment. Because unless those people that are judging pay your bills, or have some part of aspect of your, even so, fuck them anyway.
Yeah,
just get it done. Just get it done. Do your thing. Just do your thing. Don't push.
Yeah. So
yes, sir.
That's the real talk. But listen, bro. I love Alpha Initiative. I love this character you showed me. I'm about to be bro. Y'all about to make me spend some money. Why y'all doing to me? You guys is see, James. I blame you, James.
Yeah, James is responsible.
Yeah.
Man, my man James, he's the man. But everybody check out who is. So you gotta check out my people right here again. Let me show one last time. The creativeextreme.com. Please check them out. Is in the show notes, please. You got this their Facebook. I mean the Abbott and the Artista podcast. Check that out. The Creative Extreme on YouTube. When do you drop that?
We do it periodically. It's kind of it's one of our outlets that we use to, like, when we have something on our mind. So we don't have like a regular period for it, but no, we drop it.
Sure. You have a great energy, and then if you need me to be in the middle of that shit, then you add the wepa, and then it's a wrap. The Abbott, the Artista, and the wepa. What the fuck you mean by the wepa?
Let's go.
I'm about to rock this motherfucker. And then the socials on the Instagram. HJ the Creative Extreme on Instagram. Facebook is listen, they haven't secured their name. Get it done right now.
We gotta get it done. We gotta just search the Creative Extreme on any social media platform. You'll find it.
Please do, because they're amazing people. You see this energy right here. Thank you so much for your time. And mi gente, this is what I need you to do, because listen, mi gente. What you just heard is not just hype. This is vision. So Steffon, Chris, they aren't waiting for permission, right? Because they hold that permiso. What they're doing is building legacy. They're honoring real stories, and they're proving that representation is not a trend, that it's actually the future. So if you believe in authentic storytelling, if you want diverse heroes that are leading the charge, if you want to see independent creators rise like to Marvel and DC level greatness, then I need you to support Project 365, support Alpha Initiative Zero. I mean, follow them, back them, and share them, because movements do not start with corporations. You know, feel me? They start with creators and they start with believers. You heard? And here at Comic Crusaders, we champion what's bold. And that's my people right here, man. They doing their thing, man. Just like me, yo, we stepped up. So until next time, man. Yo, for real, Chris. I mean, Steph, I appreciate you. Until next time, mi gente, let's keep building, let's keep dreaming, and let's keep creating. And let's bring that big web by energy only. Hasta la próxima.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.